Hello, my name is Guy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm joined by...
Don!
That's Don. We have a gaming channel over on the Jolly Jazz Cabbage. Don, how you doing this fine 7 o'clock p.m.?
Doing good. You know, we chugging along. We living life. We doing our thing.
So in case it wasn't obvious from the title, today we are going to be reading the Jeff the Killer Creepypasta story, which both of us have a very tender history with.
I was really young as a kid, so I never... read it. What?
Were you really young as a kid?
I was pretty young as a kid. I was pretty young when the Jeff the Killer story was going around. So I never really read it. I never really went onto like creepypasta websites, but I did leak into like videos I watched and shit like that. So I definitely got spooked by it and like the fucking photo that everyone's seen at this point. And also he has the same name as my dad. My dad's name is Jeff, which always kind of fucked me in the head. Like it clearly wasn't my dad, but
what if it was?
It had the same name as my dad. So like could have like tricked me or something.
You know, I did read it on the Creepypasta website. There was a brief moment in my life in middle school where I would go on to the Creepypasta website and then read like 7 different stories, and then I would watch My Little Pony until I fell asleep.
Dude, you watch scary things. I still do that to this day. I'll watch scary things and then you just watch something happy until you fall asleep.
Well, anyways, what we are going to do today is read this story and see if it's even scary now that we are full-blown adults.
Turn off my light and get spookier lighting.
Oh, dude.
I feel like I'm not spooky enough right now.
Yeah, turn off your light and see if it's spooky.
Is that a little spookier?
Ooh, he's pale.
Spooky.
Why don't we get into this?
Why don't we just hop into this? See how scary this little murder man really is.
Chapter 1. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed. I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me.
Oh no, I hate that feeling, to be fair.
Dude, right? One time, quick side tangent already, we've read one paragraph. I fucking woke up in the middle of the night one time, and I hadn't fully woken up yet. And so I woke up and I heard myself breathing, but my brain registered it as like someone under my bed breathing. And I literally, I was like on my bed and I was just like, and over the course of like the next 5 minutes, I like slowly like went and looked under my bed. Yeah, there wasn't a goddamn soul under there. But I think it was during a time of my life when I was really scared of zombies. And so I thought it was a zombie.
That happens to us. We're all scared of a zombie once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any, besides Jeff the Killer, any like irrational fears?
I've never had a true crippling fear. Besides snakes. Snakes scare the shit out of me, but that's not really like a spooky thing. That's just like I don't like the way they move. I don't like that they got no legs.
You don't like Satan?
I don't like Satan. Satan, yeah.
Today's
Satan's
Halloween.
Oh, shit. Well, praise be Lord Satan. Then, I guess.
Caught on camera, caught in 4K. Don's a Satan worshiper. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in a little ray of light illuminating from between my curtains, were a pair of 2 eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes.
Okay.
They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth. A long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but said in only the way a madman could speak. Go to sleep. I let out a scream, and that's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if it wasn't for the neighbors who had alerted the police. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes and that psychotic smile.
It's an honest thing. I can still picture it whenever he's talking about it.
Do you ever just like think about it and it just like kind of gives you the chills a little bit?
It does, for sure.
All right, and now with no warning, it just jumps straight into the backstory. Like no break in like the paragraph. Have you ever heard Jeff the Killer's backstory?
Not enough to remember it at all.
Will you do the Jeff the Killer face right now on video?
Just like that.
Yeah, and like the I'm gonna edit you into Jeff the Killer.
I appreciate it. I hope it looks good.
The dichotomy of dawn. I can be your angel or your devil.
I hate you.
Jeff and his family had just I don't know why I went like
dating show like introduction.
Like HGTV. Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain, though. A new, better house? What was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by. "Hello," she said. "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are our new neighbors." Billy said hi, then ran back to play in his yard.
I'd probably beat Billy up, to be honest.
Oh yeah? Are you that kind of
just saying?
You kind of a badass like that?
I'm kind of like a cool kid.
They each introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. "Mom, why would you invite us?" Sorry, wait. How does Jeff the Killer talk in your brain?
Yeah. Like a big dork.
"Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid."
How was that?
10 out of 10. I'd also like to say this is really sounding like Jeff the Killer on Nickelodeon with the voice you gave him. Like the hijinks that's about to ensue really feels like it's about to be some
like kids show.
Nickelodeon show about Jeff the Killer.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. All of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them.
"Hey, what the hell?"
I don't know. Should I commit to that voice or should I be done?
Yes, please commit to that voice the whole time.
Well. It looks like we got some new meat. It's really funny to imagine that these are 12-year-olds. Well. Looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Over there is Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Talk about a tub of lard. And
Whatever.
I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of this kid's eyes when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
"Listen here, you little punk. Give me back my bro's wallet or else."
"Oh? And what will you do?" Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid on the nose. Pop! 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 Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed, and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed to Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground, screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach, and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over. Lou could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Jeff knew it was more. It was something scary. Ooh. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. Jeff, these officers tell me that you attacked 3 kids, and it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing because, truth be told, they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou. So yeah, how does that sound so far? Do you like the sympathetic backstory for Jeff the Killer?
I didn't want to say it sounded like Onision's autobiography books. But it absolutely does.
All right, so I'm just going to sum up the next couple paragraphs really quick. The cops are like, all right, Jeff, you have to go to juvie for a year now. And his brother Lou comes down holding a knife, all like, I am Spartacus. And the cops are just like, and then take Lou away to juvie for a year. They just take no trial. They're just like, come with us. Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him. This is so just nonchalant. Like, the 2 parents are like, damn, our kid went to juvie for stabbing a bunch of kids. R.I.P.
I have a feeling whoever wrote this was also 13 and in middle school.
Now, are you ready for Billy's birthday party?
I just think I'm about emotionally ready.
Jeff is woken up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Jeff, it's the day, she said, as she opened up the curtains, letting light flood his room. What? What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirred awake. I don't know why his voice changed. I think having your brother taken away to juvie does that to some. It forces you through puberty.
All right.
I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Dude, these parents are just ready to move on.
They really don't. They were like, we like Jeff more than Lou anyways. This was really just...
As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. I like that so much of this is just unnecessary, you know?
It builds atmosphere, guy.
Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and a hat. Hey, wanna play? He said. No, kid. I'm too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please? Fine. He played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Dude, they got some height.
What was that? Well, all right. I guess they
They just
on their skateboards implies they were. Yeah, implies they fucking
dude
hopped up there.
Yeah,
like they didn't hold them and jump up with their skateboards. Jumped up on their skateboards.
Dude. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his brood nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you got my brother sent to JDC. Oh, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. Oh, hi, Zaina.
Oh, can you see her?
Zaina the killer confirmed. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Then Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pocket. No one interrupts or guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder. So they fight for a little bit more.
Guns?
Yeah, they pulled guns.
These middle schoolers pulled guns, Zaina.
Only in America.
Only in America.
So they fight for a bit. Jeff stands up with a knife in his shoulder. He walks towards inside, but Troy grabs him. Need some help? He picks up Jeff by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. Why is the door closed? What adult closed the door?
They fucking locked it too. They were like, they're gonna settle it. Clearly, this kid's got guns. I have to go with that shit.
They get all the kids inside, and then they're just like, all right, they can handle their business out there.
That must be the K-12 Mafia.
The K-12 Mafia. Come on, Jeff, fight me. He throws Jeff into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the counter and smashes it over Jeff's head. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just going to sit there and let him rot for a whole year? You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up. Oh, finally you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets that strange feeling, the one which he hasn't had for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. Then it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and pile drives him into the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies.
Randy!
You just needed therapy, Randy.
He pile drives him onto the ground.
And just punches him once in the heart and his heart stops.
Dude's got a contract with WWE coming up.
Yeah. My favorite wrestler, Jeff the Killer.
Dude, he's got my vote.
So Troy and Keith start shooting at Jeff, and Jeff runs upstairs. Troy and Keith follow up behind but run out of ammo. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He's more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them as they both started to scream. Jeff wiped his eyes the best he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol." Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him, and as soon as the flame made contact with him, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught fire. He tried to roll out, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff, now a man on fire, dropped to the ground, nearly dead.
Not a man, a boy on fire. This boy's like 13. It's a big oof. I know he Anakin'd his ass. Or Red Team member number 1'd his ass.
Yeah,
if you
Red Team member number 1'd his ass. Go ahead and watch this video up in the corner on the Glimpse Creative Media. Just switch right into plugging the other channels. He wakes up in the hospital, cast all around his face. So all of the parents heard Randy confess to the attack at the birthday party before he attacked Jeff, right? So they let Lou go. Then came the day where his bandages were to be removed. His family members were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed. "Let's hope for the best," the doctor said. He quickly pulls the cloth. Like it's like a new car reveal.
Move that cloth.
Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face. What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of the bed and ran to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face, it's horrible. His lips were burnt a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. "Jeff," said Lou, "it's not that bad." "Not that bad?" said Jeff. "It's perfect." His family were equally surprised. Jeff starts laughing uncontrollably. His parents notice that his left eye and hand were twitching. "Look at me! This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. I like that they gave us the Spark Notes version of this.
The director's cut?
Yeah. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know.
Bum, bum, bum. Hijinks ensues. Is my son a serial killer, or am I crazy?
Yeah. And other stories of gaslighting from Jeff's mother. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son all right, in the head?" "Oh, yes. This behavior is typical for patients that take large amounts of painkillers." Is that true?
I don't think so at all. I could be wrong, but I don't think so at all.
Any doctors in the comments?
Wait, real quick. Oh, no. Oh, dear God. It was a mistake. Forget the bit. We're fine.
Yeah. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test. I feel like you should do that before they leave the hospital, just to make sure.
Just hit him with one real quick.
Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go. Jeff looked away from the mirror, his face still formed into a crazy smile. "'Kay, mommy." Then they left, not knowing that this was their final day of life.
Bum, bum, bum.
Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to the sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks. "Jeff, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Jeff looked over to his mother. "I couldn't stop smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." Jeff's mother noticed his eyes ringed in black. "Jeff, your eyes!" His eyes were seemingly never closing. "I couldn't see my face. I got tired and my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could forever see myself, my new face." Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. "What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?" "Yes, son. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face." She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad awake from his sleep. "Honey, get the gun." Dude,
Does it really say that?
these parents don't give a about their kids.
Does it really say, honey, get the gun?
Honey, get the gun. She stopped as she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife. "Mommy, you lied." That's the last thing they hear as Jeff rushes them with the knife, gutting both of them. His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he just got the strangest feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hand covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed here and there, trying to escape Jeff's grip. "Shh," Jeff said. "Go to sleep." The end.
Wow. In terms of self-published works of art, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. I appreciated it, but I assume it was made by a kid who wanted to make a spooky story. We were all cringe at one point, and I can appreciate someone working really hard in a cringy state. But in terms of spooky, most episodes of Criminal Minds are spookier than this. So, like,
Do you feel kind of silly? I mean, I certainly do, but do you feel kind of silly for letting this fear of Jeff the Killer rule your life for like a year?
yeah, I'd kick this kid's ass. I didn't realize he was like 15 at most.
You want to know one of the things that got me over my fear of Jeff the Killer?
Yeah.
I looked up, I was like, how to stop being scared of Jeff the Killer. And there was like a WikiHow article, right? And like the first thing that it said was, he doesn't have any eyelids. Just go and poke him in both of his eyes. Cause he can't do anything about it. You could literally just dig your finger there and scoop his eye out with like no effort. Cause he has nothing holding it in.
Don't say that.
Also, how did he burn off his eyelids without hurting his eye?
No, I was expecting a cutting. Oh my god, guy confirmed as Jeff the Killer. Oh no. Hey, I'm gonna burn you. Hey, I put your brother in prison, bitch. What a weird diss, trying to stab someone and you're like, I put your brother in prison and there's nothing you're gonna do about it.
What a flex, dude. Well, this has been fun. I liked this.
This was a good time.
Dude, you know what you should... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you finish your damn thought, mister.
You should shave your head. That was my thought.
Pay me $200.
Wait, for real?
$200.
Maybe you should subscribe to this channel.
If you get 100 likes, I will do it for $200. If we get 50 likes, I'll do it for $500.
And if we get 400 likes, he'll do it for free. This isn't even his channel.
I commit to the bit. If you get 500 likes, I will do it for free. I will shave my head. So
go ahead.
You know.
Go ahead and share this video with a friend. Maybe you knew someone who was scared of Jeff the Killer, or maybe who loved creepypastas. Share this with them.
A little blast from the past. Everyone is gonna love it. It's a Halloween treat.
This is trick-or-treating for adults right now.
Yeah. Send a video to someone as a trick or a treat.
Yeah. Send this video with the caption, trick or treat, like you're asking them, you know?
Yes.
I don't know. Comment under this video. Was this video a trick or a treat? Thank you so much for joining me, Don. Is there anywhere that you want to see where the people can find you?
You can find me under the Tacoma Narrows Bridge about Monday through Wednesday, about 9 p.m. I don't know if you want to play like backgammon at chess, if you got like, I don't know what you want to do, but I normally hang out around there. So.
Why was that your bit? Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Go ahead, like this video if you liked it. We already went through the share a friend with a friend bit. And cheers.
Cheers, homie.